Hi, my name is Reynaud Jones. After the passing of Michael Jackson, I felt compelled to tell my story. How Michael Jackson started, how the Jackson 5 started, and the real beginning of Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5.
This is Michael Jackson. Every day, in every way, I feel better and better. I love you. This is Michael Jackson.
Es war einmal ein König. Der lebte in seiner eigenen Märchenwelt. Und er tanzte und sang so wunderbar wie kein anderer. Sein Name Michael Joseph Jackson.
Michael out front. One of their first venues, the auditorium of Roosevelt High. Here, the Jackson 5 won the talent contest and wowed the crowd.
Are you ready? You better get ready.
Reynaud, hi. Well, welcome back. Well, this is the part of the show where we try to get to know Michael Jackson just a little better if we can. The insider's view of the Michael Jackson story. Our next two guests this morning. Reynaud Jones grew up with the Jacksons. Reynaud, how you doing?
Pretty good. How are you?
The Jacksons maintained a steady friendship with them over the years through their move to California.
How did you meet Michael Jackson?
Oh, I grew up with him. He used to stay on the next street over from me. Mm-hmm.
Is their house going to be made into a monument or something to Gary or something?
Well, we hope to do that.
Michael Jackson slept here kind of thing. All right, I see some questions over here.
Joe would go to work, we just sing folk songs or sing together, but I heard him singing in the bedroom, singing one of the Temptation songs. It was so beautiful.
Every time Joe heard Michael sing, he may have been reminded of his own failure.
He was very jealous of Michael. He was the most jealous of Michael because his father really wanted to be a performer.
After school, Joe kept his sons locked down in the Jackson home. But when he worked the night shift, Mike and his brothers picked up Joe's abandoned guitar and with the help of neighbor Reynaud Jones, jammed on the sly.
Jackson spent a lot of time inside. Those were Joseph's rules. So if I thought that it was time to practice, I could give out that whistle and they would come to the window and then we would walk over to my house.
Fearing Joe's jealous rage, the boys hid in Reynaud's basement and sowed the seeds of a pop music dynasty.
Joe Jackson did not even know that we were practicing. At some point, we thought that we were ready to perform. And we wanted to go on the Roosevelt High School talent show.
7-year-old Michael's coming out party took place in 1966 at the Roosevelt High talent show held right behind the Jackson family home. Joe knew his boys were up to something, but instead of stepping in, he allowed them to prove their potential for profit.
That talent show, the crowd went wild that night. They were very impressed.
Joe Jackson was also impressed. Before, he'd whipped Tito for playing his guitar, but now he threw himself into managing the boys' careers.
We had to know that they were good. We had to know that they could win talent shows, and we rehearsed them so they could be the best.
Famous and free from his Papa Joe.
I can remember a time when we were practicing, and I can't remember exactly what was being said, but Michael's response was, "This group will be nothing without me." Here's a kid, 7 years old, but the ironic part about it is that he probably was correct. That's enough, Mike. He wouldn't stop. He just kept dancing.
also eine Ausnahmebegabung.
Er ist ein Rätsel, ein Genie, eine Supernova. Keiner ist so hoch geflogen und so tief gestürzt.
The insider's view of the Michael Jackson story. Our next two guests this morning. Reynaud Jones grew up with the Jacksons. Reynaud, how you doing? The Jacksons maintained a steady friendship with them over the years.
Werden wir auftreten?
Through their move to
Wir hatten
California.
im Hof gespielt oder im Keller, aber wir waren noch nicht auf der Bühne gewesen. Davon haben wir immer geträumt, die Bühne.
The stage.
Michael has given us such wonderful talent. As far as I'm concerned, he's the most talented and was the most talented person in the entire world.
This is the area where Michael Jackson first began to rehearse.
In musical groups, Michael's group, the Jackson 5, actually had 7 members, including Reynaud Jones on guitar and Milford Height on drums. They remember that even then, Michael had his own ideas about how to do a song.
If you wanted Michael to do something, say stand at a certain part of the stage or sing a certain song, and he really didn't feel comfortable with it, he wouldn't do it, he wouldn't do it, But once we made Michael comfortable, then he displayed all of his talents.
Like I said, we all like music. I was just a kid in the neighborhood, and I had a drum, and Tito had a guitar, and Reynaud had a guitar, and we just kind of come over in the basement from time to time, and just, like kids would just, make music.
It has been over several decades now, and I think that it is time that the world knows exactly what took place and how Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5 started. There is a good possibility that had they not started when they did, Michael may not have become the greatest entertainer of all time. I know it's difficult for many of you to believe that. But just think for a moment, what if it had happened to you? Would you have wanted the world to know what your contribution was? My contribution was the contribution. That is, I started Michael Jackson and the Jackson 5. I am the originator of the group.
Dass er den Schlüssel zum Welterfolg in der Hand hält, weiß Michael bereits in jungen Jahren. Jugendfreund Reynaud Jones erinnert sich.
Einmal hat Michael zu uns gesagt, ohne mich wird nichts aus dieser Band. Jackie kam rüber, dann kam Jermaine auch immer mit. Und irgendwann kamen auch Michael und Marlon dazu. Wir sangen und probten zusammen und ich versuchte, eine Band aufzubauen. Ich war schon Mitglied in einer Band und wollte dann mit den Jacksons eine ähnliche Gruppe auf die Beine stellen. Wir übten, so zu singen und zu tanzen, wie es meine andere Band gemacht hat. Und dabei entstand dann etwas völlig Neues.
Die trostlose Kleinstadt nahe Chicago ist heute das Mekka für Jackson-Fans. Bandkollege Reynaud Jones lebte nur eine Straßenecke von der Familie entfernt.
Früher kam immer Musik aus dem Haus. Das war in den späten 50er und 60er Jahren. Joe Jackson und ein paar seiner Freunde trafen sich regelmäßig hier, um Musik zu machen. Ich glaube, Joe und seine Frau kauften das Haus im Januar 1949. Sie zogen her und alle 9 Kinder wurden hier geboren.
Chicago, part 2 of the Michael Jackson story. Who really discovered the Jacksons? Who really discovered the Jackson 5?
I am the originator of the Jackson 5. The very first appearance on stage by the Jackson 5 was right here at Roosevelt High School.
My name is Milford Height. Originally drummer for the Jacksons when we first started the group in the basement of Reynaud Jones' house on 23rd Monroe. At the time, we were just neighborhood kids, wanted to get involved with music. At the time I was playing piano and drums at the same time. And Reynaud had a guitar and he was with another group, and he decided to go and get me in. We just started practicing in the basement. And eventually he brought Tito, Jermaine, Marlon, and Michael. And Michael went to play the congos that he had, so it was like mainly, it was like an instrumental group, and then we went into making it into a singing group.
Yeah, I also want to make sure everybody remembers that the person that actually put the Jacksons together before even their father took interest in them. This guy here, Reynaud Jones, who was a best friend of Jackie Jackson at Roosevelt High School, he put the group together.
That credit, sir?
Well, I haven't. I haven't, and
you haven't what?
Gotten that credit for that, and. I think it's significant. I think it's something that should be told, you know. And this is a great moment. So it's all history now, but it's as I said, it's significant, you know. And eventually everything comes to life, and I think we're at that point now.